Well, it's Monday morning at the airport. The time is 4:55 a.m. And get this, I got to work at about 6:30 last night, and I was busy at the beginning. I was busy all the way till about 11. And then after 11, I had a couple more trips before 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, I cleared, and then I started watching video, and I fell asleep watching video. And at one point, a couple hours after that, I guess it was 3 o'clock or 3 something, and this thing here made a noise and kind of woke me up and said, you're about to become unavailable, and you have, and you know, cancel the timer or you get cut off. I thought, oh, well, I don't want to get cut off, so I canceled the timer and I sort of leaned back to go to sleep again, and I got a call to a hotel that's still a hotel, and I brought someone out to the airport. Yep, she was going to Halifax, totally the other end of the country, and she came out here to visit her girlfriend, who will be moving east to Halifax in 6 weeks or so. So they've been visiting each other, and now they want to get together. That's nice. And so I've got $280 on, despite the fact that I had a 3-hour break in the morning between 1 o'clock and 4:20 when I got the call. I'm going to head back into town and maybe get a fare or two. Maybe just watch video. 1 hour left to go, and then my shift is done. I'll be back tomorrow. This was not a busy night. I did a lot of sleeping, and I watched quite a bit of video. And I watched quite a bit of video while sleeping. Yeah. I got a grand total of about just a little more than 200 on. It was, like I said, a slow night. It was very foggy when I first came out, and the fog sort of lifted, and at one point about halfway through the night became rain. So that's what it's doing right now. It's raining. It's raining pretty hard. I'm not going to bother washing the car. I'm just going to fuel it and park it. I didn't make that much money. So I don't think I'm going to make a deposit. My regular customer borrowed a bit of money from me early on in the night, but not to do drugs. She had to get some ginger ale and some Tums because she had an upset stomach, and a pack of smokes. But then later on in the night, she paid me a lot more than what she borrowed. So she's paying stuff off gradually she'll pay stuff off. It will take some time, but she'll pay it off. I'm very thrilled about that. Even though she did wake me up to tell me that she's sending me some money by Interac, bank transfer, money transfer, whatever you call it. And the money went straight into my bank account from my phone, which is great. Yeah, well, I don't have much else to say about tonight. It was just, like I said, a slow night. A slow, quiet night. Now it's pelting down rain. I'll be back tomorrow. I slept in. But I slept in the morning at the end of my shift. I had a long night. It was a very long night. I just made barely over $200. And then I cleared from a trip at 5 o'clock and my shift ends at 6. So I went into a parking lot and I guess it was 5:30 or so, and I was watching a video and I fell asleep. And I slept until 6:49 when I was awakened by the MDT here, or the tablet, waking me up to do a trip. So I did a trip. Now the time is 7:09. It's more than an hour after the end of my shift, and I haven't received a phone call yet by the owner who wants to drive. So I'm gonna go to the car wash right now because I haven't washed the car, and it rained all night and it's probably dirty. And I'm gonna detail the interior for him. So yeah, I got a lot of sleep this morning in between calls, but this one I slept right through almost an hour past the end of my shift. Oh yeah. Well, hopefully he's not in a big hurry to come to work. Oh my goodness. Anyways, the car wash is not very far away from me now. And yeah, well, I got an extra $15 this morning. Almost 2 hours after my shift was done. Oh yeah. Not much else to say, but I'll be back in about 12 hours. The time is now 6:02 in the morning on a Thursday morning, so the Wednesday night just went by. And it's been raining for much of the night, although it wasn't raining at the beginning. It's raining now. It was real busy. In fact, I had $100 on by 9 o'clock, and it took until 3 to get the second 100 on, and since 3 I've made another $40 or so. So it was started off with a bang, and it got slower and slower and slower after those first 3 hours. Now I'm just heading over to the gas station to fuel up. I'm tired. It was a long night. I watched a lot of video. I did a bit of sleeping, but not that much. I think I got quite a bit of rest the night before because it was really slow. And I think I got enough rest at home too. Now that it's raining, I'm not going to wash the car. I'm just going to rearrange the mats, fuel it, park it. Yeah, that was an adventure yesterday when I slept in and then woke up an hour after I should have been done with my shift. And you know what? The owner wasn't there yet. But he realized that I was late because the car was still warm when he got there. And he got there around 8 o'clock. Yeah, I've had enough tonight. This was a long one. Very long. And here's the gas station. I'll just pull right in there. Well, one more night to go this week. It is now 5:38 a.m. That means there's 20 minutes left of the shift. This night was the stinker. Here's what set the tone. At the beginning, I got to work at about 20 to 7 or 6:40. And at 6:50, I was being sent on a time call for 7:05. That means that I had to be there at 7:05. And the thing was quite a ways out. I had to go for it. It took me 10 minutes to get there. So it was about it was on the peninsula. It was in zone 88, if that helps anyone. And it was at a park. And the call was for 7:05. And the name was Flynn. So I got out there by 7. By 7 I was there. It was a park. You know, there was like a baseball diamond, and there was like a clubhouse, and a few things like that. And people coming out of this park into a parking lot and getting into cars and driving away. And I figured that one of these people is the one that was going to get in my cab. Well, I parked prominently right in front where people were coming out of the park with my top light on, nice and bright. And 7:05 came and went. And then I thought I would call the phone number. To tell the customer that I was there. So I called, and it was a voicemail for some school administrator for a private school. I'm going, oh, okay, so it's maybe for one of the students. Well, I wasn't going to leave a message because it was like, you know, this is a voicemail for, you know, so-and-so administrator for the school, and, you know, to contact me, leave a voice message. I was not going to do that. So what I did was I waited another 10 minutes. After those 10 minutes were done, nobody came out again, and I just called a no load, which is what it was. So then I drove back to the part of town where I like to work, because out there wasn't going to be another call anytime soon, I'm pretty sure, because calls out there are kind of rare. Okay, so I waited about an hour for my first trip. After that, and that trip went for $8 from a pizza place to a liquor store to somebody's house. The next one was half an hour later, and it was a $5 trip. Now you can see where the night's going. I had $13 on at around 9 o'clock. And it was this effectively one trip an hour. It was 10 trips, basically, for the whole night. The average trip was $13. So guess how much I made? $130. Now this was a Thursday night. The lease for Thursday night is $115. So that gives me $15 left. And that's not all profit, because I have to buy gas. I've gone a whole grand total of 85.6 kilometers. Your typical shift on a weeknight, 150 to 200. But I've done 86. I might have used $7 or $8 worth of gas, maybe less. So my profit for the night was maybe $7 or $8. Hooray! That was a stinker. Hope yours is better than mine.